Welcome to Padu Motivations. Today, I'm going to talk to you about my experiences in owning my Tesla Model 3 2023. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my likes, my dislikes. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how much it cost me to charge this, or the equivalent of gas for a total of 120 days. We're going to talk a little about the charging stations, just the overall experiences of owning a Tesla. And in my case, this would be my first electric vehicle. So I'll talk about a little bit about that. Also, if you are a current Tesla owner, or if you're thinking about purchasing a Tesla, mainly the people thinking about purchasing a Tesla, you're going to get some great insight on someone who actually owns this vehicle. I'm not renting it or nothing. This is my vehicle. So you're going to get some great insight from somebody who really knows what they're talking about. And it's going to be basically my feelings and my experiences. So let's start off first with the body of the Tesla. I mean, let's face it, this is a beautiful vehicle right here. You have the 19-inch wheels. The beautiful, sleek design is very nice. You have the sleek door handles, which makes it's flush against the door, so it makes it very aerodynamic. You have the panoramic sunroof, which I love. It gives you a nice feeling of not being claustrophobic. So that's very nice. It has the Tesla Model 3 has 8 onboard cameras. There's, I believe, one in the back. You have 2 on the sides. There's also a built-in dash cam. There's one in the front. There's two. There's one on this side, the other side right here. All these cameras do is enable you to drive effectively using the autopilot feature. It also works very good as far as enhancing the security around your vehicle, because with Sentry mode, which I'll talk to you a little bit about later, it actually monitors your car 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it has a footage, so you can actually use that as well and save it for later. Okay, well, let's talk about it. The first thing I love about an electric vehicle or my Tesla Model 3 is the gas savings. Um, like I mentioned before, I drove over 4,000 miles on this vehicle. So that means I drove in mileage the equivalence of driving from New York to Los Angeles and then going east to the border of Texas. That's about 4,000 miles. And guess what? I only paid in charging costs $207. That is unheard of. $207. So, I mean, that's a great feeling not to be able to go into a gas station and to be able to get that kind of miles on, get that kind of mileage on an electric vehicle. Also, you're talking about, a lot of people ask me, well, how much does it cost to fill this car? Or you could say, how much did, if you're talking about an electric car, now you have to talk about the how much it actually costs to charge this vehicle. So to charge this vehicle from empty to full would cost me about $9. you know, so the $9 to fill this car up, and I'll be able to actually drive 271 miles on $9. That is totally a game changer. And I'm going to tell you, it's really affected my life because, number one, I don't have to visit a gas station. And it's really weird because this is the first time in my life I don't have to go to a gas station every week, or some people fill up their, fill up their car every day. So I'm really saving a whole lot of money, and I'm going to get into exactly how much I'm saving by driving this vehicle for the 4-month period, or 120 days. Okay, those numbers that I gave you as far as how much it costs to charge my vehicle, and they are all based on charging my vehicle from home using my Tesla mobile charger. That's the most inexpensive way to charge your Tesla Model 3. If not, you'd have to go to a supercharging stations, and the only time you're really going to go to a supercharging station is really when you're traveling distances where you don't have access to a home charger. So, with that being said, there are 50,000 charging stations, Tesla charging stations throughout the world. They strategically place these charging stations on major routes or routes that they know are traveled by vehicle. So you won't ever have to really worry about uh, your car not making it to your destination, because the app will actually guide you to the charging stations on your route in the most efficient and economical way. So that's a great feature and benefit of owning a Tesla Model 3. Okay, another thing that Teslas have is they call it regenerative braking. So you're basically driving your car using one pedal. And what regenerative braking is that as soon as you take your foot up off the gas, the vehicle automatically slows down, but it doesn't slow down using the brakes. The motor just slows down. And while that motor is slowing down, it regenerates the battery so that it extends the range on your vehicle for that trip. I have drove in. We live here in Phoenix, Arizona, and I have driven down a mountain, and I could see my battery, and I'm not using any brakes at all. Is the regenerative braking is actually slowing it down, so I actually see my range going up. Of course, that doesn't happen a whole lot, but I love that feature. I think the regenerative braking system of the Tesla is probably one of the most underreported features of the Tesla. Now, what happens is that when you're driving around and just using regenerative braking, you're not even putting your foot on the brakes at all. One time I was actually out and about taking care of some business. I was out for about 2 hours in and out of the car, stopping at different places. And I was out 2 hours, and I kind of counted the amount of times I've used my brakes. It was 5 times for that whole trip. So you're not using your brakes. Now, with that being said, since you're not using your brakes, obviously your brakes are going to last a long time. You might as well take out brake costs out of the equation. You will need brakes at some point. I talked to another Tesla owner, had 80 or 90,000 miles on his car. He didn't have to get any brakes at all, not yet. So sometimes it may even last the life of the car. I'm not sure of that one, but I'm telling you, that is a cost that I'm glad I do not have to have, because I remember on my other vehicle, I needed all kinds of things, brakes, rotors, all kinds of stuff. So this eliminates that. With that being said, the Tesla Model 3 has about 17 moving parts. The average combustible engine has 200. So I love that, because with, you take 17 moving parts and 200 moving parts, chances are the vehicle with the 200 moving parts is going to have a more of a chance of breaking down. So I love that about the Tesla. It doesn't have any moving parts. So as far as moving parts, you don't I like the idea that I don't have to worry about getting an alternator. I don't have to worry about getting starters, getting batteries, getting catalytic converters. I don't have to worry about getting my car smog tested. And here's my main thing: no oil changes. Come on. You're taking oil changes out of the equation. A lot of times I used to go to Jiffy Lube, and the oil change might be, I don't know, $65, $80. By the time it's said and done, it might be over $100. I have not been to an oil change station in a while. And right now, with about 4,000 miles, I would have already been at the oil change station. So that is a huge savings. And it not only saves you money, it saves you time. So these are a lot of the costs that you are going to eliminate when you purchase a Tesla Model 3. And that's going to save you a lot of money. So remember how I was telling you about the supercharging stations where you can charge your Tesla, and they're strategically located around the country. My wife and I went from Phoenix, Arizona to Long Beach, California. That's about 560 miles. It took about 5 hours to drive there. Actually, hours to drive, but we only had to actually stop twice at the charging station. So that was a good feeling, because if I was driving a gas vehicle, I would have probably had to stop twice or more. But that was a good feeling knowing that those charging stations were were accessible, and there were a lot of them. So think about that when you're making your decision as far as whether or not to buy a Tesla or another electric vehicle, is really look at their charging networks. And right now, Tesla's been in the business a long time, and they have some of the best charging uh, uh, outlets. And Tesla's been in the game for a long time. Okay. Also, with the technology of the Tesla is probably the most technologically advanced electric vehicle made right now. So, with that being said, Tesla does updates periodically. And with those updates, since the vehicle is computer based, it can change the way the vehicle drives, the way it looks. So an older Tesla and a new Tesla can basically have the same functionality because of upgrades. And that is a great feature. And those of you who are thinking about purchasing a Tesla, that's actually very good, because that enhances your driving experience. You don't have to upgrade a car. And it probably will help keep its value a little bit better as well. Okay, and speaking of technology, with a Tesla, there's really only two ways to control your vehicle, is through the 15-inch onboard touchscreen screen, and the handy dandy Tesla app. And I'm going to actually show you that a little bit later, because though the app is phenomenal, and of course the touchscreen does a bunch of stuff, and we'll talk about that as well. Okay, now another thing that makes this car fun to drive, minus the technology and everything, which we're going to get to into a minute, but it goes from 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds. So that's extremely fast. I mean, at that speed, you're able to drive nice. You're able to change lanes, move on to ongoing traffic, move on to the highway a lot quicker. The Tesla Model 3 is probably faster than 90% of the cars out there. So with that type of speed, it's phenomenal driving. And with an electric vehicle, again, this is my only reference point. Well, with a Tesla, as soon as you put your foot on the gas, you have immediate power. I mean, it's literally right there. Sometimes it can be, I mean, I did it. So I pushed it a little bit where, your neck jerks. But that speed is so remarkable, and is right at the fingertips. Is right there, not at your fingertips, is right at your toe tips. But it's a beautiful car to drive. It looks great. Um, these cars really, they don't break down. They really don't. So let's take a look at the inside of the vehicle and show you some bells and whistles. Okay, now I do have a negative about the Tesla Model 3. It's not a lot of room in the back. I'm 6'1". It's not real roomy back here. I mean, the front is perfect. The front two seats is excellent. So this, I would say, is a negative, but it's not too bad. I could probably sit here for a little while, but it's not the most comfortable seat. If you're over like 5'11", 6 foot, you probably won't. It'll be a little bit tight back here. Okay, let's take a look at the inside of the vehicle. Of course, if you look in the car, it has a very minimalistic feel. Okay, you got the dash cam features there. You have keyless entry. You got your wireless charging right in the center. There's an eight speaker sound system. That's pretty cool. You also have 4 USB-C ports. You have heated seats. You got heated steering wheels. I mean, you've got the works. You got vegan leather. It's very easy to clean, by the way. Okay, so you also have a nice panoramic sunroof. So this is really nice, and it's all UV protected. When we actually get in the vehicle, you're going to see that I do have a sunshade. I probably should have took it off so you can get the full effect, but the sunshade is right here. I have another one at the front, but you won't see that because I took it off. So if you look at this, and the panoramic view is really cool because the sunroof, it's it allows you a little bit more comfort because it's less claustrophobic, I would imagine. But that I really, really love. Okay, another thing I love about the Tesla is the 15-inch touchscreen, and you are controlling your vehicle. Basically, everything is through the touchscreen and the mobile app, which I'll show you in a minute. So the touchscreen is really just broken up into 3 parts. You've got the navigation here, you have the car functions here, and then you have a toolbar here. It's very nice. You have your, how to adjust your steering, charging. You got my charge limit here. You got the autopilot function. By the way, the autopilot is another great function because you could basically drive hands-free, and with the autopilot, which comes with your vehicle, any enhanced autopilot or full service, that's extra. So, but the autopilot allows you to maintain a safe distance with the car in front of you, and it keeps you between the lanes. So, I love that feature. It has, the locks, the lights, all the information here, safety. We talked about the Sentry mode. I talked about that earlier. The Sentry mode allows you to monitor your vehicle when you're away from your vehicle, when it's parked and locked. So that's another excellent safety feature. The service, it has all your PSI right there. You got the owner's manual here as well. Here's what I was talking about, the software upgrades. That's very nice as well. You also have the entertainment. You have your Netflix, Hulu. You got the YouTube. One day, my wife and I had a Netflix and chill night. So we actually sat in the car and chilled out, watched the movie, ate some popcorn, had a beverage. So it's the entertainment is actually great. Now, with the entertainment, you have to have a premium internet or the premium connectivity in order to enjoy this type of function, and that's like $10 a month. So we have that. You have some other functions here. Excuse me. And this is how you really control everything: the window locks, charging, everything. Also, you have a significant amount of voice commands that you can use with your Tesla. For instance, voice commands is open the trunk. Seeing the trunk's open. For time's sake, I'm just going to close the trunk without it. Oops. Okay. Just going to close the trunk. Good. So that's a feature that, I mean, and you can use the voice commands for really just about anything. So that's the technology part of this. Everything is controlled through this. Now I'm going to show you the handy dandy app. Okay, now this is the Tesla app. So of course you have all your controls here, your charging stats. Let's look at the charging stats. You may want to go to one of my other videos. I really go into detail about how you used the Tesla app. And by the way, if you're liking the information you're receiving, hey, please now stop to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Okay, here's the app right here. These are my charge stats right here, and this is how much I spent in costs, charging costs, $210, and I did about 4,000 miles, and that's what I saved. I saved $466 as far as a gas equivalent. And with this, it tells you some of the red is the supercharging. When I went away, I didn't charge from home, so it has the red is the supercharging, the blue is home, and it has it's just a wealth of information right here. And that's what I did for the year. For the month so far, I spent $56, and that was for a really long trip. But anyway, this is a great app to have, and it comes with your Tesla Model 3 or any other Tesla that you get. You have your climate. This is what I really use quite often. You can go into this and actually, let's say you're in a movie theater, or you're out at dinner, and you come and you finish dinner, and you don't want to get into a car that's 100 and something degrees. So what you want to do is remotely you can be at dinner and say, you know what, I want to make my car nice and cool, so by the time I get in the car it's nice and cool. So you would use this, and you can actually put it to any temperature you want. Um, and it also works as far as heat or air, whatever. You have all your seats, heated seats, heated steering wheels, everything. So everything is done right through the app. Your charging stats, like we looked at before, savings, um, how you figure out what you're paying for charging is you go to your local utility company, and it shows that you actually input that in, but I'm paying about 13 cents a kilowatt hour. Okay, so that's the app. There's a whole lot more to it, but you're going to really like this if you do decide to, buy a Tesla, or any type of Tesla. Okay, now let's talk about the roadside assistance. Now, also on the app, if you see, before we get into roadside assistance, it shows you how many miles you have on the vehicle. Remember, I said we did 4,000 miles. We did 4,000 miles. It has the right VIN numbers, have everything right here. The roadside assistance. Roadside assistance comes free with all Teslas, okay? And I love the feature. And so if you wanted to request roadside assistance, you do it right here, all in the app. And then whatever the problem is, flat tire, drivability concern, charging, whatever. I'm going to tell you a real quick story. I seen a Tesla on a tow truck. It was on a flatbed tow truck, and I asked the guy. I said, you got a Tesla? What's the matter with it? He said, a flat tire. I said, oh, okay. And I asked him how many Teslas he's been doing towing for a long time. How many Teslas have you ever towed? He said 50, and I said 50. Wow. I said, what was the problem? He said he said 50, and I think he worked for the company, I don't know, 10 years. I said 50, what was the problem with it? It was a flat tire. So I said that to say this, these cars really don't break down. If that's the only thing, a tire, I mean, that can be fixed. So let's look at the roadside assistance app real quick, and that's everything. And you do everything right here. So if you had a flat tire, you just keep going and then go from there. Okay. In my 4 months of owning this vehicle, nothing really broke down. The only thing that happened was I had a nail or a screw enlarged in the tire of my vehicles in the garage. It wasn't flat, but there was a screw in there. I didn't want to, rip it out or anything, and I didn't want to drive it. So because I didn't know, what might happen. So I did the roadside assistance. Everything was done right through the app. The guy came. He put a spare on it, and with Tesla, they have mobile technicians. Since since there's not a lot of moving parts in a Tesla, a lot of things can be done right at your home, because some of it is maybe technology based issues or whatever. So he actually came, he gave me a spare, put the spare on, and he came back the next day with a brand new tire. Unfortunately, I had to purchase a brand new tire, but the experience was very convenient. Normally, if I would have had to, if I had a flat tire, number one, I got to go get it fixed. I got to get a tow truck. I got to get it, follow the tow truck there, or get in the car with the tow truck, go to the Firestone or wherever you get tires, and wait there. They got to balance the tire. They, do all that. That's a long time. Well, with the Tesla mobile service, he got to my house, like I said, he, put the spare on there, came back the following day. All he did was text me and said, "Hey, is this a good time to come?" Yes, I'm on my way. He was there in about 45 minutes, changed the tire, and I was on my way. I was actually home and didn't have to go anywhere. So I do like that experience. So if you do consider buying a Tesla, that's something you definitely want to look at as well. Okay, I'm going to show you how to find supercharging stations, and that's really going to be a very easy thing to do. You can do it two ways. You can just do it like this, hold on the voice activation button, find supercharging stations, and then it's going to be all the supercharging stations right nearby. And there's another way to do it as well, or you can just tap on the uh, the screen here and click on this little icon right here, and then that's going to give you the supercharging stations as well. Okay, and you could see what's available, like 10 stalls available, 5 available, 2. So you always have this at your fingertips, and it's obviously it's very easy to use, and you have a lot of charging stations available. So that's actually a good thing. Okay. Also, early in the video, I did talk about the dash cam. The dash cam, which is located here, and we also have all the cameras, onboard cameras around the vehicle itself. And Sentry mode is used to monitor your car when you're away from your car and it's parked and locked. And it will also alert you if someone comes near your car, messes with your car, whatever. I'm going to show you how to get to that. I'm going to go right here. This is Sentry mode, and it records everything. So it records everything that you've done. Let's look here on, and it's all a time and date stamp. This one was on September 24th. We'll go ahead and look at that. And my car was parked here, and we took a Waymo ride. As you can see, Waymo is a autonomous rideshare app. Is almost like Uber or Lyft, except it's driverless. And my wife and I actually tried it. But the car is actually parked right here. You can see us getting out of the Waymo ride. So with Sentry mode, it does monitor the activity around the vehicle, which is huge. And you can look at all the activity, or it alerts you right through the handy dandy app. And also, you can look at the app. You can look at these pictures right on the app itself. So that's really a great function, and provides you with a great level of security as well. And then lastly, and this is probably really important as well, the environment. Let's talk about that a little bit. The gas vehicles emit about 1.2 billion tons of greenhouse gases every year. So by me purchasing a all electric vehicle, that's actually taking some of that greenhouse gases away in a small way. But if everybody did their part, I think we'll probably live in a better planet. And obviously the greenhouse gases does contribute to global warming. So I just took a one gas car off the road, and I'm really happy about that. So that is it. And this Sentry mode is also just a great feature to have. Okay, lastly, I think I mentioned before, this vehicle is like $40,000. The only thing extra was the paint job or the color. But I'll also get a $7,500 federal tax rebate, so that's good. And actually, now is the actual time to purchase a Tesla if you're thinking about it, because I think they lowered the price again. And I don't know what it's going to be like next year. So you may want to think about doing that. If you do decide to do that as well, go to my Tesla referral link right in the description. You'll get up to $1,000 off any Tesla, and you'll get 3 months full, 3 months free of the full self-driving. Well, there you have it. The car is a beautiful car. I really enjoyed it for the last 120 days. It's fun to drive. It looks good. It's economical. Once again, I'm spending $9 on a fill up. So come on, man. That's a great feature. Um, it's fast, it's durable, it doesn't have a lot of parts, hardly any maintenance. So I mean, this is a win-win. It really is a win-win situation. Well, listen, I am glad you spent some time with me. Hopefully I was able to help you in any decision-making process that you have. If you're a current Tesla owner, let me know. Hit me up. I want to get some ideas or some feedback or whatever. Please do that. And last not least, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.